Multifamily Mindset
podcast. Think bigger. All right, aloha and welcome to the Multifamily Mindset podcast with Tyler Deverell, Jackson Campbell. We brought some aloha.
And you bring the love.
Oh.
And the listening.
Yes.
Because we'll be doing the talking since this is a podcast and that's how they go.
Frickin' listen.
No, the Multifamily Mindset podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We've got episodes Monday through Saturday, Monday through Friday, or Monday through Thursday. We got episodes Monday through Friday. Let me correct myself. And then we have episodes with Dallas Pruitt Monday through Thursday. And then you're tuning into the Aloha Friday today, where we sit down and talk real estate. But Tyler also does some high-level interviews on the Aloha Fridays. You'll definitely want to stick around for those. They're very high-level. They're great podcasts. Today, though, we're going to talk about turning obstacles into opportunities.
Love it.
This is a great topic, T. Great topic for you to talk about because it always seems like you're touching on this topic. Like you're always it's almost like you're always talking about turning problems into solutions. You know what I mean? So recently, though, you said the purpose of life is to overcome obstacles. What did you mean when you said that?
I love that. First off, I do agree. I do talk about this a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Right? Like, as you're saying that, it was like the first thing that came to my mind was like, I got 99 problems, but solutions ain't one. You know,
Yeah.
or bitches.
Or both. Neither of them.
Oh, bitches can be solutions, but solutions can also be bitches.
Isn't that
A
the
bitch.
truth? That's true.
Is this how you thought we would go with this?
Yeah. It is.
Why do you think I talk about it a lot? I'll answer that question, but why do you think I talk about it a lot?
Overcoming obstacles, probably because that's growth, man. Is overcoming obstacles. To
Yes.
progress is to overcome obstacles. To grow is to overcome a past version of yourself, which is then that past version of yourself had certain obstacles that this version of yourself doesn't. So
Bro.
yeah, you got to overcome them.
That's money, dude. That's exactly it, dude. Because progression, like life is about progression, and progression comes from overcoming obstacles. So I believe our biggest problem is that we think we shouldn't have them, right? I've said this multiple times.
Yeah.
But it's like these obstacles come, that's actually where the opportunities lie. And so why do I talk about it? Because, dude, I'm overcoming them all the time. As a company, we're overcoming them. Students we mentor are overcoming them. The properties that we work on are overcoming them. It's like, dude, that is progression and growth. That is true happiness. And the minute that you don't have problems to solve is the minute that you should really look hard at your life because you're not progressing.
Yeah.
If you're not if you don't have challenges, if you don't have struggles, if you don't have obstacles, you're not progressing. Life isn't meant to be perfect. So like that phrase, right? Like the purpose of life is to overcome obstacles. It's because the purpose of life is progression, and you progress by overcoming obstacles. And I think a lot of the times we get these obstacles, these challenges, these setbacks, and we think that it's punishment. And I remember Inky Johnson on the podcast that I interviewed him on, he said, dude, that guy just has a way with words, right? He just has a way with words. And he said, it's not punishment, it's preparation. It's not punishment, it's preparation. Like those challenges that you're facing today are preparing you for the challenges of tomorrow, right?
Happens for you,
Yeah.
not to you.
Yeah.
You're not a victim of it. It's happening to you
Yeah.
or for you because to prepare you.
Yes.
Exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
What I heard somebody say recently was they have them because of you. Like, meaning
Yeah, totally.
life, not the challenges, but life is happening because of you. I heard it on, I think it was Ed Milet's podcast, and he was talking to
I like it.
maybe Benjamin Hardy. I think it was Benjamin Hardy. I don't know. I know it was on Ed's podcast though, but he said life is happening because of you, meaning your progression or degression is happening because of how you view things in your life, because how you view what you do will impact how you do what you do. Also an Inky Johnson quote. Inky frickin', I'm just going to quote your ass all episode, bro.
It might as well be featuring Inky Johnson on this
Yes,
episode.
dude.
Okay, dude, we talk about progression, turning these obstacles into opportunities so that you can progress, but that there's no, like, it's not meant to be perfect. You're not supposed to have. So pretty what I got out of that, dude, is you have an obstacle, you overcome it. There's going to be more obstacles.
Yeah.
So, Ty, how do you stay motivated knowing that?
Motivated knowing that there's obstacles.
There's going to be more. Even
But,
like
dude,
you're right now in everybody's life, right? They're facing their hardest obstacle that I'm sure they've felt like they've ever faced. And if you are, you should be. That's what growth looks like.
Yeah.
But that next stage of growth is going to be another difficulty or obstacle that is just unfathomable for you right now. Yeah. But Ty, how do you keep moving forward, keep pressing forward with your goals, knowing that? I
think that I love this question, dude. Because it's like, hold on, man, shit. You're telling me that I'm not just going to reach this level all of a sudden where I don't have any problems? Because I'm working towards it. We all kind of have this fallacy in our mind, right? Like we're all of a sudden going to reach this part where it's like, whew, smooth sailing. It's not a reality. So what keeps you going is reflection. Like when you are able to reflect back and realize, this is why I believe that reflection is one of the greatest gifts that we have and we don't use it. Mm-hmm. Like one of the greatest gifts from God that we just don't use enough of is reflection. Because when you reflect back, truly reflect back on challenges, and you're like, man, what is a challenge that I face? What is a time in your life that was shitty? A time in your life you'd reflect back, well, that was shitty, and you're like, man, I don't think I can do this, or man, this is such a struggle, a problem, that actually turned out to be a massive blessing for you. Like just reflect back on that. I guarantee you can identify some that in the moment did not seem like a blessing, but now that you have some perspective, was absolutely a blessing for you. What are those things? Because if you can recognize those things, then it'll help you change your perspective in the moment. See, how we view the past will help us understand. Well, dude, how we view the past will also impact how we view the future. So if I view these struggles in the current, like the present, and I look back at the past and I'm like, man, struggles and challenges have been a bitch and have absolutely just been a horrible thing in my life. Well, then I will expect more challenges that also result into more problems and struggles. Mm-hmm. But if I can look back and I can identify and view things from a perspective, from a lens, from a frame that is actually serving, and I can see that this challenge was actually a blessing, this obstacle was actually an opportunity, then in the moment when an obstacle comes, it's like, this is my next opportunity. This is my time to rise up. That's a blessing, right? Mm-hmm. But it's all how we view it based on our perspective, based on our frame for the future.
Absolutely.
So what keeps me going? The knowledge to know that if I overcome this, what's to come is better.
Dude, this is so good. So good. I want to give a resource for everybody that may be challenging, like may have a hard time with that. Ryan Holiday's book, Obstacle is the Way, is everything you just said in a book like drawn out for you so you can really understand it. Most of the time we look back at those obstacles, and if we look back at them in a negative light, then yeah, of course we're not going to want more obstacles, and that's going to be our psyche. That's going to be our mentality going into problems. But if you look at problems just like how you said, knowing that that's actually the way you need to go. Mm-hmm. The obstacle is actually the shining light in the direction that you're supposed to be going in this vast world of darkness that you don't know where you're supposed to be going. Go after the obstacle. Because that's the way. That's what you need to do, and that's like everything you just said. It's the only way towards becoming the better person that you need to become to overcome more and more obstacles that are going to come your way.
I love that you shouted out that book, dude, because that book is so good.
It's so good.
You know what? One thing that sticks out to me. Do you remember the part where he talks about George Clooney?
Mm-hmm.
George Clooney knew in, I don't even remember how old he was, but knew in L.A. or wherever he was, probably L.A. And he's trying to get into the acting scene, and he's not landing any roles. Well, what he then determined was like, wait a minute, I'm going in there, and I'm needing to this so bad. But what I forget to realize and remember is that the directors, they need me. Well, they need people to fill a certain role. Uh-huh. So what are these different roles? I'm going to identify what that role is. So my challenge is that I need to sell this director on my ability to be that role. That's a challenge. We can either view that as a challenge in a negative light, which is, man, nobody likes me, everybody hates me. I think I'll eat a worm. Have you ever heard that before?
Oh, yeah.
Nobody likes me, everybody hates me. I think I'll eat a worm. I don't know where I heard that. I think that's a childhood thing.
It sounds like something your mom would have sang.
That's a Cynthia.
Sure.
Oh, that's a Cynthia. Sure. That's a Cynthia comment.
Yeah.
Cynthia, where did you pull that from? Damn it.
I'll have to resource check her on it.
Why a worm?
I don't know.
But anyway, I don't know why my mind I got sidetracked, bro. Or you can be like, wait a minute. If I can view it, what's their challenge? right, that they're facing, and I can now, instead of forget about this side, see what their challenge is and go towards that, which is they need somebody to fit this certain role. I'm going to study this specific person. I'm going to be that exact person that they need. And then he starts landing on these roles and he becomes George Clooney. It's like, you go towards the challenge, you go towards the obstacle. You don't just bitch about it, run away from it, hope that it eventually goes away. Right. No, you run right through the storm.
Yeah,
right?
Dude, no, so good. So good. Another thing that I got out of that, since we're talking about that story, is that obstacle, and any obstacle that we face is specific for you. You're the only person that can overcome said obstacle. In that situation, only George Clooney had that perspective and that opportunity and that ability to be able to become the person that he needed to become to land those roles. Because that was his obstacle. Yep. And he was the only one that could have figured that out to be able to do that. And that's for everybody in facing any obstacle. It's like you may have caused the obstacle, but you were also the only one that's going to be able to get over that obstacle because it's meant for you.
We sit serving belief.
We sit here and we talk about like it's happening for you, not to you. Then that's for you. It's a gift.
Yeah.
Obstacles are gifts that are for you to challenge yourself to become better.
See, that's shifting the perspective in the given moment, right? So the Maui meeting today, and this is what we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Maui meeting, we do a training once a month with everybody within the company, and just a training on whatever, we feel like the training needs to be. And it was really that. It was the shifting this perspective. And it's literally as simple as this. Like the growth process is literally as simple as this. When we come across an event, and events that are going good, events that are positive, that shit's easy. Because so I'm talking about an event that knocks you off course.
Yeah.
An event that is challenging.
Mm-hmm.
You literally have two options. Choosing a perspective that is not serving to the goal, to the direction you're looking to go, or choosing a perspective that is serving to the direction you're looking to go. So if you ever find yourself having a perspective that isn't progressing you forward, change your fucking perspective. Period.
Yeah.
To one that is serving. And guess what will happen? Growth, happiness, progression. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, changing your perspective. It's very easy to say, and for people that have practiced that, it's very easy to do. Like I know for you, like you face an obstacle, you might get real mad in the heat of the moment, but you relook at it, you face it, and you take it with positivity, because you change your perspective. How it's quick and easy for you to do that because you've done the training.
It ain't quick and easy.
Well, you know when you need to do it, rather.
Yeah.
So how do you recognize it? And then how does that work for you, man? Because perspective isn't. This is why I asked this question. I don't believe perspective is something that's fickle that you can change on a dime. I believe that perspective is something that you correlate over time through your experiences, and through your experiences, the emotions, the actions that you take is the perspective that you create.
Disagree.
You disagree with that?
Yeah, and I love it.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Because think about what you said. It's not something that you change on a dime. It comes from past experiences. That's actually what fucks people over most of the time. They look back to their past experiences that are negative, that aren't serving.
Your gut reaction perspective is what I'm saying. That's what you're like. Everybody's like instant reaction, like when you get mad.
Yeah.
Or when anybody gets mad. I believe that it's because of those past experiences that we don't necessarily notice, right? So that's like your instant thing.
Yeah,
you're gonna always feel, right?
Yep.
And you want to change that. And in those moments you can like work on that. So like how do you work on that in those moments? Yeah.
To know first off that as quickly as it takes you to feel shitty, you can also make a decision to feel better. And I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I go running today.
Yeah.
This morning, swear to God, this morning. And as I'm running, bro, I'm like, because what I love about running is I'm in my head the whole time. I'm in my head about the run, like it's challenging. Running is an obstacle for me. It is a challenge for me to overcome. So just continuing to push forward. But I'm also in my head about all sorts of things. And as I'm running, I start getting really nervous because I start going down this negative train of thought, and I start bro, I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Is what it felt like.
Yeah.
And I'm like running, but also I'm like in my mind of like, no, keep fucking going, and then in my mind I'm like, oh my god, dude, there's a chance right now, like, because I'm not even a mile in yet, bro, and I'm like short of breath, like I'm like getting not cold chills, but
Cold chills. That's right.
yeah,
Goosebumps.
yeah. When I should be sweating, it's
Sure.
like cold sweats.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's, like I'm gonna have a heart attack right here.
Yeah.
And it's 4:30 in the morning. And is anybody gonna see me? And what's gonna? But I'm like, quit being a little bitch. Keep going. But then what I realize I need to do is I need to change my narrative, dude. Because in my mind I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm nervous. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. Oh my gosh, everything's falling. The sky is falling. In that moment, I'm like, literally, this is what I was saying to myself. I'm strong. I'm healthy. I'm fit. I'm just changing the internal narrative.
Right.
And then what happens? My breath starts to slow down.
And you take back control.
And you take back control.
Yeah.
That fast. Why? Because I believed I could.
Yeah.
Number one, I believed I could. Number two is because I flipped the narrative. I shifted the perspective. I actually took control of the narrative instead of letting the narrative control me. I took control of the narrative instead of letting the narrative control me. That's why Dallas says, this is why, dude, if people just listened to Dallas and executed, listen to what he talks about and execute. The most basic principles he talks about, one of them is Timic, the most important conversation. But how many of us are unaware of the conversations that we're having in our head?
Right.
The reason that is the most important conversation is because how you think will determine how you act. And how you act will determine the result that you get. Mm-hmm. Period.
Yep.
So if you can correct here in the moment, which you can, then your actions will be different and your results will be massively different.
And then moving even more forward down that progression, now your actions are different. Now your results are different. Now your perspective is changed.
Your belief is enhanced.
For the next time that you go into that issue, you're like, oh, I already know this.
Yep.
I've already been here. I already know what to do here.
Yep.
So now your perspective has changed. I love how you just laid that out, dude. It's a beautiful thing, and yeah, you said it so well. In that moment, dude, when you realize you need to change your perspective, do you think, like, for instance, you're running again and that happens again? You think how do you get to the point so it doesn't happen again? You know what I mean? Like, your perspective was a certain way and then you overcame it and then you challenged it in the moment. How do you practice that so now when you're running that certain instance doesn't happen?
Yeah. Because
your perspective is new, your belief is new around that instance. Yeah, dude. How do you do that?
So what's interesting is I have a routine. This is and I probably have talked to you about it, and it's something that I had gotten off out of habit on, and then have been executing it again, which is before I go to bed, like the last narrative that I have is, man, tomorrow's going to be an amazing day. And then I go to sleep with thinking about the amazing things to come. Tomorrow, this quarter, this year, 5 years, 10 years. That's why I want to fall asleep. Last night I didn't do that. Last night I fell asleep talking to Britt about challenges. That's what I fell asleep to. Okay, so then I wake up, and my routine waking up is, today's going to be an amazing day. That's the first freaking thing I want to say when I wake up. Mm-hmm. I didn't do that. I didn't do it. Not intentionally.
Right.
But that's the point.
Right.
I wasn't intentional. Mm-hmm. And then what starts to happen? Well, the same things and things that I was chatting about the night before, that's what's causing the feeling that I'm feeling when I'm on my run. Mm. So you asked the question, how do you make sure that that instance doesn't happen again? Well, number one, I believe it's the basic things of how do you expect the next day to go, and what's your narrative when you wake up to make sure that that expectation becomes a reality, mm-hmm. right? Because it will start to dictate the behaviors. Number 2 is to do not avoid decisions that you need to make. There's decisions that need to be made, and if you avoid that will help you progress, but if you avoid those decisions, those challenges will stack up.
Mm-hmm.
Those problems will stack up. That will never be serving to you ever. So make decisions to continue moving forward instead of being stuck in the shit that's progressing you from moving forward. So do I believe that will come up again in the future? Probably, because there'll be more things. Do I believe that same situation, those same problems should come up? No. It's my job to cut them off at the motherfucking head and keep going, so that those issues don't arise, so that once again I can become prepared, stronger, strengthened for the bigger challenges that lie ahead. Right?
Right. Dude, it's so good and so powerful. It's like I just want to pause on that for a minute, just so we can like really soak that in, that you're in control of that. You get to decide that. It's a beautiful thing.
Isn't that overwhelming though a little bit? Like, because
I don't think so. I think it's liberating.
Agreed. I totally agree.
I think it's liberating because it's ownership. It's like you're in control. It's like it's you.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's liberating, but it can. I think it can.
Because you know what would be comfortable? I hope somebody comes and fixes this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it'd be really nice if somebody would just step up and fix that.
Right.
Well, that someone's me.
Mm-hmm.
In my life, I'm going to be the one.
Right.
In my life, I'm going to be the one. And and in the lives of others. And when we get to the Hawaiian value that I put in here, saw the topic, saw the title, put in a Hawaiian value, that I saw my kids, it was Marley's class. They did like an open house at Paxton Marley School. And this is one of the things that the teacher had posted on the door. And I took a picture of it. That's the Hawaiian value. When you get there, it'll explain deeper what I mean by this. But it's like, no, I'm going to be the one to step up. For me, myself, and others. I'm going to be that dude. I don't want to wait around for that person. I want to be that person.
Right.
And when you take that responsibility, it's a lot of weight to bear, but you'll also be able to bear a lot more weight the more you do it.
Yeah, I like that. I love that.
Yeah.
When you accept that,
yes.
you also gain more.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when you accept, like, man, I'm capable.
Right.
I got it.
Yeah. Confidence. Yeah.
That's it.
Confidence expands the bandwidth for sure.
Confidence expands the bandwidth
of ability to be able to do stuff.
Confidence expands the bandwidth of ability. Fuck.
Yeah.
Quote it. If y'all aren't out there on social media quoting my boy JC on that one, confidence expands the bandwidth
of ability to
ability.
To do stuff. This isn't a quote I just made. I'm just spitting fire in right now as we're talking.
That is a quote.
But yeah, dude, because it really does with what you're saying. But being able to make that step and take that, yeah, dude, you open up more for yourself to step into that person you need to become. It's freaking good, dude. It's good stuff.
Share that.
One
y'all
more
out
thing.
there on social media, man, share that shit.
One more thing before we wrap up, because we are coming to time that I wanted just to touch on with your running example and obstacles. One of these mornings we were talking about running, and you were telling me how much you hate it.
Yeah.
Just how terrible it is, and how you're trying to learn how to love it. And as we were talking, you were saying, I hate it because it's so hard. And so this was a couple weeks ago when you first started getting back into running. And what I have learned from obstacles and doing things that are hard, it's almost a side benefit, a side feature of obstacles, is that it forces you to be present. When things are hard and when things are difficult, it forces you to be there in the now.
So good.
So for me, like how that's helped me is I'm very much an anxious person. I like to think about every possible outcome that could possibly happen. So I tend to wander. I tend to think about the future. I tend to think about what's coming and what it is. But if I'm doing those hard things, and it forces you to be right then, right there, right now. So just another reason why to dive into obstacles is because it forces you to be present and it forces you into that growth, whether you're ready for it or not.
I love it, bro. I love it. That is so true. Like, the challenge forces you to be present in the moment. And being present is also a gift, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's a gift.
Yeah.
Like, to be present. And there's few things in our life that really challenge us to the point, especially in today's world of distraction. It's so much distraction. So once again, if the challenge that we face in today's world is distraction, well, then the way is to go right towards it, which is to be present.
Right.
Right? It's like that's your separator.
Right.
If everyone's so damn distracted, I was talking to Pax about this last night, bro. Playing soccer. He's like, man, this, I love playing soccer at school, but I want to be goalie, and everyone wants to be goalie, and so they just fight at being goalie. And if we fight, then we can't play, and so I don't want to do that because I don't want to fight. And so I'm like, okay, what can you control? What can you control? What a perspective that is serving? He's like, well, I guess I could play another position, but I mean, I can't even score a goal because the goalies are always fighting. And I was like, well, really? Because like, so if there's 2 people or 3 people or whatever in the goal that are fighting and distracted, what opportunities that open up for you? Oh, well, I guess they're too distracted to stop my goal, which means you should be scoring goals left and right. But your perspective is that you can't even kick the ball because they're fighting. When in reality, you kick the ball, guess what that will do for them? When you score, maybe not the first time, maybe that second time, but you do that a couple times, well, they're going to now start being present.
Yeah.
That'll be a blessing to them, which will also force you to level up your game too, which will be a blessing to you. It's like, that's the beauty, right?
Yep.
Running right towards it, man. And that is exactly it, dude. Running, and like this challenge is like today on the same run, which I'm so glad I overcame what I overcame before this part. Because then by the way, I've been running the same route. Okay. Yeah. Well, then I realized that if I reversed it, then I would be running uphill the last half mile, which the last half mile can be challenging. So I reversed it to run the other way. And when I told you yesterday, right, that I've been trying to get, this might not seem very impressive to some of you, but at first all my miles were over 10-minute miles. Then I got it down to sub 10-minute, then sub 9, and that's when I switched my thing.
Nice.
Now I went the direction. But then it went back up to, it was still sub 10, but it was like just barely under 10. Then it was closer to 9. And then I told you yesterday was the first day that I hit one that was sub 9, right? I hit both miles averaged below 9.
Yeah.
And I was pumped about that. Well, today I'm running and have this episode in the very beginning, overcome that, and then I'm beginning to run my last mile, and there's a guy standing, you know the guy on Kihei Road that has the fruit?
I love him.
Me too.
Yeah.
Unless it's pitch black in the
oh, he scared you?
He's standing on the road, which is the road I'm running on, looking right at me holding a fruit out.
Yeah.
Because what he does is he just hyper-focuses on this fruit.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, when you sing during the day, it's one thing.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh.
He's meditating on this fruit.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when you see him standing in the road in the middle of the night, every available outcome, it's like, I about had a heart attack, now I'm about to get fucking murdered. But what's crazy is it forces me to be present, right?
Yeah.
And in that moment, I'm running, and there's another guy who, I don't know if this guy lives here. I don't know if this guy knows who he is. But this other guy is also running. I'm running on one side of the road. He's running on the other side of the road. We're running on the same road, but he's just a little bit behind me, obviously. And I'm like, no, man, I gotta let this guy know that this guy's cool. Because literally, those of you watching on YouTube, he's like this.
Yeah, he obviously has some special needs. He's a homeless man. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the middle of the road. It's freaky as shit. There's no street lights.
He's never hurt anybody. He's
very
peaceful.
No.
Very peaceful.
No.
Right? Yeah.
That we know of.
Yeah.
Maybe he did, and he's murdered some other runners.
Sure.
Because that's the story I was telling myself.
Yeah.
This guy's murdered some other people. He seems innocent, but he's murdered some people. I could be the next one.
Right.
Kidding.
It's not the truth.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But that guy might be thinking it because he might be a pussy. And so what I need to do is let him know that it's okay. And so it's literally, this is the story I'm telling myself in my mind. I'm like, oh my God. Oh shit, is that okay? Well, this guy has to be terrified. Hey, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Hey, never seen you fit down this far, is what I'm saying to him as I'm running up.
Yeah.
Loud enough so he can hear it, so the other guy can hear, like, hey, man, this guy's cool.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah.
I don't know if that guy needed that, but guess what? I needed that in that moment to be present, to make sure that I felt a certain way, and so did he. Right?
Yeah.
Sounds dumb, but I'm telling you, those things make a difference for me.
Yeah. No, definitely. Okay, dude, let's move into the
Do
Hawaiian
you think
value.
he was terrified with me, like my stature, my physical stature, running towards him?
I think he was probably pretty focused on the fruit. He probably didn't see you.
Look at my stature, my physical stature. How do you not?
It was dark.
Fuck.
He might have, though.
Well, I got to get back to the gym now.
Yeah, maybe. You've been running a lot.
I've lost some
You're still
pounds.
looking good. You're still looking good. Don't worry.
Better.
Okay, dude, moving into the Hawaiian value. I'm not even going to attempt to say this one.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Bro, how are you going to talk about overcoming obstacles if you ain't gonna
Makahana
attempt
ka
it?
iki makaimi ka loa.
See,
I
that's
think I
good, dude.
crushed that.
Makahana ka iki, makaimi ka laoa. In working, one learns. Let this sink in. In working, one learns. Through initiative, one acquires. In working, one learns. Through initiative, one acquires. What's the difference between working and initiative? Well, that's because it takes initiative to work, right? So I immediately like, man, I love that. But what the shit does that mean?
Yeah.
And I Googled the word initiative. I'll do this all the time. If I don't like really true, I love to now know like the true definitions of.
Yeah.
The definition of initiative, let this sink in, is the power or opportunity to act, the power or opportunity to act or take charge before others do. Meaning you have the courage before others have the courage. That's initiative. You have the courage to act before others have the courage to act. What that also helps me understand is that by you having the courage to act, others will also now have the courage to act. So when you experience an obstacle, are you going to be that person that sits back and is like, gosh, this obstacle, I hope somebody else overcomes it? Or are you going to be that person that has the initiative so that you can help others be confident enough as well? And once again, in working, one learns. Through initiative, one acquires. Acquires what? Acquires fucking everything. Initiative is how you acquire everything. By being courageous enough to look at it as an obstacle, as an opportunity, you can literally acquire anything. If you look at obstacles as that thing, that detrimental thing that is going to stop you from, you will acquire nothing. Makahana kaike, makaime kalaoa. Take initiative, mother
So
effers.
good. Awesome. I have nothing to add, dude. I think I love
Nothing?
that. No, I love that. Through working, one learns. Through initiative, one acquires.
Sick, huh?
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff my kids are learning out here in Hawaii. What kind of pronouns are your kids learning on the mainland, man?
When I think
Let me know.
when I think acquires here, I guess maybe I do have something to add. I think acquires here, one learns. Learns is fickle. Learns you can forget. Learn you can
I love this perspective.
unlearn. But through initiative, one acquires. Acquire to me is you keep it. It's more ingrained.
That's
more,
good, dude.
It's more yours. Yeah. So that would be what I have to add there.
Owning the outcome.
Yeah.
Owning the outcome.
It becomes yours when you take initiative. Yeah.
Yeah, you own it.
Yeah.
You own it, right? I love
good.
that, dude.
That's good, man.
That's so good. Hey, listen, go share this episode. Go share Jackson's quotes throughout because this dude freaking murdered.
Thank you.
No, I loved it.
No,
I
it's
really
all
do.
you,
If you
brother.
guys don't clip share, I'm going to be pissed. And then also leave us a comment. Let us know what else you would like us to touch on, chat on. And thank you, man, for always tuning in, listening, and supporting us, man, because we love to do this. And we can only do this and justify doing this because y'all actually take the time to listen to this. So love you, appreciate you. Make sure that you always live with aloha. Peace. Multifamily Mindset. Podcast. Think big.